Here we are to talk to you about all the pressing developments in the land of the evergreen marketing meadows of Facebook. And what better place to potentially spend your money than the world's best advertising platform known for making the most money for the money spent.
Facebook Group and Company.
Literally, at Facebook Group and Company. So we're going to fill you all in on what has changed in the landscape and how that affects the local marketing space of Trinidad and Tobago, because all that happens internationally isn't necessarily relevant to you, and nor is its success. So here we are to give you some context to all that news as to how you can replicate that success and achieve that success for yourself, for your business, and for your company, because let's be real, why else are we all tuning in? Right?
Exactly.
So we're going to take it away with what changes Facebook has made just recently that has made the world's best platform even better. Even better.
I'll jump inside there
Please.
one time. I'll jump in right here. So Facebook, in an effort to really improve the interaction on the platform, has made some changes to its feed. So, as I said, in terms of interaction, they are making the content you see more relevant to you and what you're interested in, right? So they sent out a few surveys at the beginning of the year, and they are matching that with your tagged photos and so forth. And now the content that are now being displayed on your page is now solely what you are interested in. Before it was about your friends and your family, but now they're moving away from that now, and again showing you what you are interested in, right? Now this is getting closer together and so forth, right?
That's beautiful. So it's really connecting people with the things and the persons that they care about the most.
Exactly.
And hopefully that is your brand. That's a good place to be.
But that's a good point you brought up, because it really helps and it has an effect on the brands and pages on Facebook as well, because it can really make the cost cheaper. Because before, brands and pages won't see it on the page, won't see it on your feed. They were really away from that. But now, since they are making this change to see, so the people can see what they're interested in, brands and pages now have a chance to be featured in your page and actually rank higher in your page.
Right.
So,
thank goodness.
Because
when last time you seen a page in your feed? Do pages like if it's not a sponsored ad? When last time you follow all these pages,
naturally,
you liked all these pages? If you go into your like list, you probably have hundreds in there. You don't see anything.
You don't see them. You don't see them. And well, before we go there, that's because of the whole, I'm going to say, scandal, or the overuse of the pages in the beginning, where your feed was just only pages. It was just only pages. Then they cut that out and they went to only friends. And
then that was too much.
Pull left. They did pull on different sides. Now they found the mid ground of your interest. So they now look at your link clicks, which ones you interact with most, and the brands you interact with the most. And now they give you or they place in your feed the page that they think you would interact with, and then actually improve further interaction with the brand themselves. So this gives brands and pages the opportunity now, once again, to be inside a person's face, increase the reach. It's
thank goodness.
It really opens it up.
Let me jump.
That's an important point that you brought up there before you get into. I hope I don't jump.
All right, you can go. I'll remember.
But
talk to me.
You mentioned that pages had their reach mitigated.
Oh yeah.
To allow for people to see more of their friends and family in their feed when they posted something. Because for a long time, when you post something, there was very little of your audience or your friends that would actually see what you posted, right? So this change that allowed for friends and family to be seen more often really put a brakes to all the pages on Facebook, at an extreme rate, to the point where publishers left, and there was a disconnect between some of the community locally and this information, because they have been sold, or they believe that number of likes that they have on their page does translate into the people seeing their post. Ooh, look, you have 100,000. Ooh, look, we made 100,000 likes on this page.
Yeah.
Ooh, look,
Yeah.
even 10,000. I have 10,000 likes. Some people have bragged about such, but the amount of your audience that actually sees your post is only an average 0.7%. So when you look at 0.7% or 1% of 10,000
Yeah,
persons,
you realize what that number lies.
you're realizing that only about 100, 200 people are going to see that post. Depending on how well it performs. If it really performs, you might get up to 300, right? But and as the number gets bigger, that fraction gets smaller. Right, it gets smaller. So if you have like 100 people, maybe like 20, 30, 40 people might see it, right? And then as you get bigger, it gets smaller to an average about 0.7%.
Right,
So
yeah.
once you hit double digits, thousands,
Forget it.
you're dealing with a fraction of a percentage.
Yeah.
So for all that 10,000, 100,000 likes, 200,000 likes, we're getting you a lot of likes. Just know that it's taking 100 likes to get to one more person. And that's
Yeah.
that's just
That's
not an
rough.
effective
Yeah.
use to spend, because you could spend that money on just reaching those persons in the first place. Right, so I really want to clarify that, because that's been going on a lot, and
Yes, it has.
people are unaware, because if you hear
Still
it
on this conversation
and it's
of likes.
explained well, it's an easy sell.
Yeah.
You have to know that something's going
It's
on for you
wrong,
to even
yeah.
know that that's false, because it makes all the sense on
Yeah.
paper. You have all these likes and likes of people that are tuning into your page, so they see what you post.
To some degree, yeah, it is.
It makes sense,
Yeah.
right? But you have to know that it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Only
Or it doesn't
literally a
guarantee
fraction of a percent of all your likes ever sees
Actually
that
see your
post.
content, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that that's getting improved.
Yes.
It's still not going to be anything. Your 10,000 is still not going to see it. But
Yeah,
it's
you're never
still
gonna get that
gonna go
10,000
from probably like
from organic.
0.7 to like 1.5 or something now. Probably.
Oh, it's going
Just
up?
double.
It's going up?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would,
it
but,
will go up.
but marginally.
Oh, okay. So I was going to give an account of that the point you're making, a real account where this actually works, right? Because you mentioned that brands are going to use this more as they're making the changes
Yes.
within
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah,
And one brand in particular that has seen a lot of success just off social alone, one is called Huel, right? And Huel attributes their entire success just to social alone. They have not done any outside branding at all.
So like Wish then.
Yeah,
social
so
success story.
social
fashion
success story,
over.
fashion over like that as well.
Okay, alright.
Utilizing their users as the face of the brand, being those closer interactions that you were still mentioning.
Yeah.
They use that same tactic, and then they go one step further where they utilize micro influencers that
Purple
are
Mattress is
only
another example.
their content is
It's fire. Yeah, it's
pretty
fire.
good.
It's really good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do a
Purple
case
Mattress
study
is
of
really
that.
good. Yeah.
But yeah, so they utilize their users for that closer touch point with their same users as well. So it's just a loop that continues to go on. And then they also utilize micro influencers who would just be users that are more active on the platform, because the platform is only getting better. So as these people use it more, they get better at it. And then the brands come in and they utilize these same touch points, and it works wonders for them. Huel has been doing some numbers, man. And I'll get onto that.
Yeah,
But I ain't trying to give them all the spotlight, but I just want to give an account of how brands are going to use this. Not going to, they are using
They are
it
using
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
How they're using the platform in that form and fashion.
All right, cool. So they're really benefiting from the social aspect of the social platform, and not just the advertising, because the advertising is effective. Advertising will work.
Yeah.
It will work.
definitely.
It's just a new media, but the advertising concepts and tenets are still the same. It's just about how you can apply your advertising skills to this new landscape. Advertising is still going to work. But to really get that magic, to get that community, to get that brand strength, there needs to be some social. Even celebrities now have had to open their doors a lot more to their fans to get that social connection. And
Yeah.
they're losing out to persons that weren't celebrities at all, that are now influencers that carry more leverage than them. So these micro
they're doing
influencers
numbers.
are a lot closer and a lot more influential.
Yeah. They
More
trust them more.
persuasive. They do. They have that
It's more
credibility.
real, more authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah, that-
And
You
the
can
brand is
you may-
authentic.
You may also see people that you know as well, so you know it checks out. You know it's not something that is being concocted in the back to persuade you into buying the product. This is real. This is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
So that has been doing wonders for Huel on the back end.
So it's really
For
about
social.
how the brand gets that authenticity out to to their viewership
Yeah.
and what methods they use to employ it and then get that authentic feel.
I like I mentioned
Awesome.
that because on that authentic feel, stories is where it's at for that whole school.
Stories are huge, man.
Stories is where it's all at.
Stories are huge.
It's the future. Facebook counts it as the future.
For those that don't know, just inform them as to
You're
what
gonna
a
have to
story
tell them what a
is.
story
Okay,
is.
I'm
Just
saying
send them with the WhatsApp
I mean-
status. I think everyone's familiar with WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let me just, but in terms of WhatsApp status, so stories are essentially, and I say essentially, real-time portrait, video, and photo content. I think that's just something off the
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
Right.
Pretty spot
So
on.
now
amazing.
in WhatsApp we refer to them as statuses, but they are
Same concept.
Same
Same thing, just
concept. They are
different
stories, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. They're
name.
the same concept. Now Facebook has come in with a new update, right, to actually bring the platform schools together. So now you can actually share your WhatsApp status onto your Facebook story.
Yeah.
Right an app, because yes, people use WhatsApp, but some people don't use Facebook.
Some
Right,
people,
some
don't
people use Instagram, exactly.
Yeah.
And in Instagram and WhatsApp also they pull foot from each other.
They are. Their demographics are worlds apart.
Very far.
Worlds apart.
And Facebook
They
comes
don't
right
mix.
in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
Right in the middle.
As it does in most things. Huh?
So they're really pushing this story integration and so forth. So with that new update, it really makes the process frictionless. And Facebook also working on their own stories to make it a lot more frictionless and easy to use. So you go inside and you post one time. Everything is easily accessible.
And that story gives you that authentic feeling.
Yes, that
You see
authentic,
that
that
these
real
brands-
time.
that these
Yes.
same
Because
brands are
it is what it
piggybacking
is.
on.
It is the most social part of these social media
Yeah,
platforms right now. There's literal updates. Sometimes hour by hour, depending on how actively some people use it,
Some
as
people
to
are
what's
more-
going on in their lives.
Hour by
You know
hour,
what I mean?
you see one ring and some, and then you see millions of dots.
People be documenting.
Yeah.
Be
Their
documenting.
whole life. But it's
Very
right
documented.
because these stories rack up more people or more users than some of these apps outside there.
Entire apps.
And it's
Story
amazing.
as a
how people-
feature.
Yeah.
Has more users than entire apps. A $1 billion project right there. Story. Billion
amazing.
user project, sorry. Right? So yeah, it's massive. It's exploding. It doesn't show any signs of slowing growth
Oh, I don't.
anytime soon either. It just seems to be growing bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it is essential that brands have taken have heeded the call that brands get on stream with those stories and really start to give more access to their users and their followers to make them feel more connected.
Yeah.
And the story itself limits how much you can even do to it
Yes, exactly.
based on how much editing that you can
Yeah.
do. So that it will always
There's
have
very
that
little tampering,
DIY,
yeah.
grassroots, very authentic feel that brands like
Real
Huel
time, super
feel
live.
benefit from. So what about Huel? What else about Huel, to give some context as to who they are and what else about them allows them to be the brand that they are today? Is it just the ability to maneuver social, or is it that the brand itself is very acclimatized to or very native to social?
I think it's native with a lot of trends that are happening now. So let me explain what Huel is, right? So Huel is a play on fuel, by the way. So they switch on the everyday, right? And Huel is a vegan powdered food, right? Almost supplement or borderline fitness sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a filling those meals that you can't have, for busy people or millennials who are so busy right now but still concerned about their health. It's a big thing. So even though we're working, we still have to get every source of protein and everything like that. So Huel fits into that category. So that's what Huel is, right? Huel has only been around for about 4 years now, right? And just utilizing the platform itself has led to this massive growth. Massive growth. So let me quote some numbers for you so you can get
Please,
an
what
idea
is that?
as to
What
how
does that
they
growth
grew.
look like?
Yeah.
You can't just be spouting massive growth out
No, I'm
here
gonna- no,
and not
so
putting
you
a
can
dollar
tell.
amount to it.
So
Because your massive growth, my massive growth, might
It's
not
two
be the
different
same.
things, but I'm pretty sure this massive growth
It's everyone's
everyone's thing, right? Yours too. Yours too.
All right.
So as I
Close.
mentioned, they've only been in existence for 4 years. They've only done social for advertising and branding, nothing outside
Social,
of that, right?
okay.
So I'm gonna give you. In 2016, they were at 6 million in revenue. In 2017, they were doing 14 million. A slight change in leadership, and then they bumped up in 2018 to 45 million. This is 220% increase that you're seeing. 14, and sorry, this is euros, but this is in the UK.
Euros.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, that is
This
a
is
lot.
a brand new company.
Well, that's
you
a lot.
you call this a
fraction of a
startup. This
percent
is
of
a
people even
startup.
see that kind of cash. Yeah.
Right, and when they started taking social is when that jump happened. But the 6 million was just off of just utilizing the platform in its most native way possible before they started to put tactics behind it. One of their tactics was that they would utilize micro budgets, and then they would test because of how social it is, you can test different things.
Yeah.
And the CEO Julian Hearn, he saw that. So he would test different small things, and then the ones that picked up. And I know this is something super familiar.
He's been peeking at our notes.
Yeah.
That's
He
what I
saw our
realized.
thing about
Right
it.
process.
We need to call him on the phone because according to page 4 of our portfolio, that is our recipe.
Yeah,
Micro testing to micro audiences, different pieces of content.
That is exactly
And
what
then
it is.
seeing what works for sure because you're not guessing.
Yeah.
You're not taking up your whole commercial because you think it looks good. You have the real results and you take it out to the wider community. Right?
Exactly, that's what happened. So I'm pretty sure they saw how
That's
well
what's
their
covering.
user-generated content worked.
We need to cover our work.
Yeah, nah.
No.
It's a hype, yeah. So they saw how well that user-generated content worked. They saw how well the users as the face of the brand work. They saw how well micro-influencers work. And then they put that on the larger budgets. And that's what led to that explosion from 2017 to 2018. That's 1 year.
But
31 minutes.
I'm really amazed at this. This might get a bit technical here. But when you talk just now and you talk about these microtests, I'm really amazed at the data I don't have used to actually get those tests because you can do it on TV.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think TV allowed
Definitely
for
couldn't
any
do
of that.
No.
Right? But that data allowed for that
Targeting.
massive growth. And I hope I don't stray too much. Let me know if I stray too much here. But there's this whole data conversation that people have with Facebook. I think I want to clear this up here right now.
All right.
Oh, there's been a lot of
There's-
controversy surrounding that
there's-
data
there's-
conversation with
There's been some media headlines.
with Facebook. They have had a few data incidents
Yes.
that they have paid the fine for, but those incidents were all as a result of theft. It's not like Facebook was
Facebook
out
is-
there mishandling data.
It's not
more like
anything
persons
to-
are actively every
trying
second,
to
even
steal.
now, hacking in, trying to steal, trying to hack, trying to steal. Every second,
Exactly.
machines on rotations, teams of hackers on rotations,
Every- all
very
the
sophisticated teams all the time
they
around the
don't-
clock.
they don't get
data
the-
mining. Governments were stealing your data from your social and feeding it to companies to campaign on their behalf. That happened locally. Will not call any names.
Nope.
This is real.
This is real.
This is real.
But
Right.
why all this is
In Trinidad and
happening?
Tobago because they
Yeah.
won. I'm going to tell you when it happened. Right. But I mean, it could really be anybody because we have two major parties.
Yeah,
and
so
since
you
Facebook
could-
has been around, one each has one.
You
So I
could-
could be talking about
Wow,
anything.
yeah, boy.
So
You can deduce that on
You
your
can
own.
find out for
based
yourself,
on
but,
You will know.
this did happen here. Boy, did they mine your data from your social account.
So,
And but
yeah, you're
why
saying-
all this is happening and people are acting right to steal Facebook data? Facebook is on there or is in their corner trying these innovative ways of trying to get your data from you responsibly.
Yeah, from the whole globe
Responsibly. Yes. Respond and
while keeping it safe.
so they've created an app that will pay you to collect your data. Pay you for
what
the
do
data
you
that
have
you
to do?
Huh?
What do you have to do?
Oh, just download the app and let it on your phone. It's that simple. And they pay you every month for that data.
If
For the
only
data,
this-
yeah. For the data you already agreed
That's
to,
it?
to give. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, those terms and conditions I never read those. But I press agree every time.
Yeah, and the ones that you agree to give for free, they're paying you for now. Right? So
Yes, so you can't blame them now because it's opt-in.
yeah, it's
opt-in,
totally opt-in.
Right.
So
The
how the app works, it would sit on your phone. It will track the apps you use based on your permission, of course.
Yeah.
Right. It will look at the features you use, give it back to Facebook to then use to improve their platform, just like how you used
Right,
it to really advance themselves. It's the same process to make the app, the platform better.
I wish the census could pay me like that.
Don't hold your breath to them. Don't hold your breath.
No.
And there's
Wishful
evidence.
thinking.
That's some serious wishful thinking. Yeah, there's evidence of that actually work because you mentioned that the data would have had to have been reliable for you to even have that growth in the first place. The data had to have been reliable. So reliable in fact that they were able to create a community, a mass of like tens of thousands of people that are so resonant with the brand Huel. They call themselves Hooligans. Literally, these people are backing Huel as if it's their bread and butter kind
It's a
of
culture,
thing.
it's a lifestyle, yeah.
It literally is. And for Huel to even get that close to the people that resonate the most with their brand, the data would have had to been super good in the first place.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It would have had to been able to, something that you can track, you can measure and optimize so you can get the best out of it. And that is exactly what they did. That's exactly why they continue to use social. And their entire success is all social alone.
Now, you know, people are going to think that is an international success. And that has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the local economic climate and market dynamics of Trinidad and Tobago. No, hold on. They're not totally wrong, guys. They're not totally wrong. There are a lot of native and contextual considerations for Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yeah.
But those all come down to execution. The platform definitely.
Good
Because
wisdom,
we ourselves, with so many projects that we have done, with some of our clients, have been able to achieve up to 600% revenue increase, like real explosive growth, right? By any measure means taking a company from what would have been 5 figures to 6 figures all over the course of a couple of months if their revenue continues. And with no further growth. If they were just to continue as they are now, they would have well exceeded the 6-figure bracket. And that's as explosive as it gets. So it can be done here, but there are definitely considerations that must be made. Now, naturally, you're not going to see $45 million, right?
Yeah, because of the market.
Because of the market. Well, not right away on this. We do have the money to make it up, but it's going to have to come. You're going to have to really disrupt
The space.
the space.
The spend
You're
would
gonna
have to
really
match.
have to, and the spend would have to match. So you really have to build and disrupt. And there are a lot of other things in business besides just the ability to get customers, right?
Yeah.
Businesses, black businesses, it's business.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing, right?
There are other factors.
There are other factors involved. And of course, the nature of your business too. If it's B2B, then you know there are only so many businesses that you can get that aren't already occupied. You may have to wait for new business to come into the funnel, right? So there are real considerations, but to take into consideration. But it definitely works, and it can definitely grow your business to a lot further along than it should be. And when you hit that wall, you can then start talking about that wall. But that's also not a wall that TV could fix, right? So
All billboards.
you should definitely look at milking that social, because it does replicate here. Once you have a team that can execute it effectively locally, you can make your money back. I mean, we make the money on spend within a month, 2 months of having first acquired the client, just to prove the point. To be able to give ourselves the space to then do the things that we would like to do.
Because side clients
after we've proven that it could sell.
initially they don't see it as an advertising
They don't, and we
platform.
have to show them that. Yeah.
And I think that also has a part of the sensationalization of the headlines that also affects these people, and it affects the way they see Facebook. So they don't see it as that safe place where they can go and do these things. They know it as something, as a different identity. So it's important that we do that in those 2 months. So we change the entire.
So we change their perspective totally.
They're like,
but
Facebook.
you do have a right to results. Do not be fooled that your social presence is just to be a page to represent your brand for whoever checks it out, and you spend your money and leave that there. It should be growing your business in dollars and cents, and you're allowed to ask in dollars and cents.
Yes.
And no one can tell you that it needs time to work. I will say that with all marketing, giving appropriate time and windows for it to be most effective is always best, because you may want to put a multi-phase strategy in place, for example, right? But if it is that you need that money next month, next 2 months, and you express that to your team, they should have a short-term plan to be able to return that and generate that revenue within that time, and it's definitely possible. So you have a right to ask, you have a right to know, and let them talk to you. Now, there are market considerations to take into consideration as well. During these periods, for example, there's a lot less disposable income because of the amount of disposable income spent on travel. This is a real issue in the ecosystem, right? So if you're targeting locals, you may have a harder time there in terms of how you're going to collect your revenue. Next month, if you're targeting parents, you know that, next month, if you're targeting parents, there's a lot of back to school spending that's going to be taking place. Right? So there are local, so you may have economic dips that your marketing team will account for when they explain it to you. But unless they have a really good reason, which is why you have the right to ask and they have the right to answer. Be fair both ways. This is not to knock anybody.
Yeah.
They're all trying. But they need to be able to give you some comprehensive answers as to how much they expect to make over this window. What is the ROI they're looking at? Do they at least expect to break even on your spend? But it's not supposed to be a black hole.
Yeah,
You're not paying
it's
for a
just
sign, a nice decoration inside your store. You're
That's
supposed to
another
make
thing.
real money.
That's not marketing.
Yes. That's social media management.
That's what I'm saying, it's another
to make
thing.
your store look nice.
That's not
Exactly.
digital
Money inside.
marketing. That's
Exactly.
not digital marketing, right? And that needs to be
Be
addressed, and you need to hold them accountable accordingly. And then they can also let you know maybe they feel like they need to be more empowered. Maybe they need more space. But you could only know after you've had that conversation whether your team is working for and with the best interest of your company in mind. So
Now, we mentioned before milking the platform. What amazes me is the advertiser's ability to milk the platform while the platform continues to get better. Right? So let me bring this back to
they're
Facebook
always-
field. So,
Right.
and it may sound sorry about that. It may sound a bit weird, but I'm going to bring it all the way back for you. So Facebook is bringing out a new update to their Messenger app, which is the snooze button, which essentially takes people out of the app. If you look in that way, so it
When you snooze them, it's because you're trying to deal with it right
Yeah.
now.
so it requires notifications for the time you're away, 60 minutes or so forth, and then when that time is up, all notifications come pouring back in. Right now, you might say, "Well, they're out of the platform. That means I can't reach them then." But the time that they spend on the platform outside
they
of their
come
snooze
back.
is active consumption. They are inside there, working there, inside there, using the platform. So when you aren't reaching them inside there now, you know for sure that they're consuming this.
Right. After
exactly.
Actively, it's
Yeah, they didn't just check it in passing. So what was considered a view or what was considered seen if you're sending a message or something of the sort didn't actually resonate with them because it didn't actually really consume it. It
yes.
just kind of
They were just in
glimpsed
and
it
out, yeah.
and moved on, no different to walking by a billboard. You know that when they do go to their active session, because they put it on pause until they had the time for a reason,
Yeah.
it means that once they've given it the time, then that time is allotted into just actively engaging
it's more what
in
the
that
quality
material.
of the time and the quantity of the time really they're moving into now, because the quality
Yeah.
time is worth a
If they
lot
have-
more.
yeah.
Time well spent.
Time, well, that is
And
exactly
while
it.
they're working on helping individuals have quality time spent, they are working on the experience that they have during spending that time
Right.
with the content that's being displayed on the platform during those active sessions. So they've started to take a much more serious look at the content, moderating the quality of the content, cleaning up the platform. They're trying to remove even exaggerations and exaggerated claims. Recently, health claims was the latest victim of these changes.
Right.
But exaggerated claims, actually, funny enough, have been something that has been hurting the performance of posts long before people even were aware of it. Even something as simple as a question mark in the caption of your post that encourages engagement or commenting or like or give your opinion
Yeah.
or would you rather, etc. drastically damages the performance
or a
of that
couple too
post.
many exclamation marks.
Anybody putting a question
Those
mark,
all caps?
let us know what
Guilty.
you think in the comments below. Would you rather? Yeah, that to encourage engagement, it just hit it, right? Exclamation marks, as you said.
all
Case
caps.
usage of this
Yeah.
reference to any physical attributes, caps, right? So anything sensational, large and exaggerated and hyperbolized has really been seeing a reduction on the platform. They're really making it harder for those things to be to perform the way that they used to and to take advantage of the individuals perusing, because they only have limited time for research. A human has only so many hours in a day. Right? So
pay
just
for
to
such.
say, well, they could have found out themselves. I mean, it's a bit unrealistic,
Yeah.
especially with the amount of information that
It's
comes
too
in.
far. You need to
It's
reduce
extreme.
that friction.
But what this does is that it cleans the floor for bad marketing, making bad marketing and efforts and bad behavior less effective, and it further rewards good behavior. So those that do well will now do even better. And those that do bad will do even worse, and it helps to clear the battlefield a bit more too. So good marketing could only benefit. The price of marketing on Facebook, if you know what you're doing, just went down.
I think their ability to focus on bringing those users closer to the content that they want to actually see,
Yeah.
and omitting anything that pulls away from those interactions. We have those
Yeah.
more meaningful
Yeah.
interactions, almost as they're making it more inclusive for the people to come in,
Yeah.
more things for them to deal with, right? And I'm going to pull this back to Hugh as an example of that inclusivity. Right? So even with the content, and you're saying that when people are on that, the content that they see is something that they could relate to, something that they could actually enjoy.
I really like this example as a case study running in parallel with the
It
conversation.
works out pretty
Yeah, it
well.
does.
So yes, the content that you would see. So let's say when you're engaging with that Hue brand, the content that you see from them is always very inviting. And as I mentioned, it's borderline fitness, which tends to be slightly exclusive, or maybe
Yeah.
not even slightly.
Yeah,
it's pretty
sometimes.
exclusive,
Yeah.
right? If you're
Sometimes
not
quite.
pumping iron and you're the
Yeah.
fit guy, you can't talk fitness, right?
Is this for me?
But not so much Hugh. And the ability to focus on the essentials, both Facebook, that the essentials of interactions and
Yeah.
good communication. And then Hugh also doing that as well to create that closer touch point with the users themselves, like removing all the frills and all the extras that is not needed and focusing exactly on what people want.
Okay.
Even with their packaging, you see with their packaging, it's not extravagant like, well, you know how packaging can be.
Yeah.
Packaging
Some
could
can
be any number of things.
loud and slapstick and busy
So,
and all of them.
Luxurious,
It's
cheap.
super minimalist. It is pastel colors in nature.
Which
Is
is themes well with social.
pretty
Trending.
pretty
Culture right
trending,
now.
Yeah.
right? Same
As
with the
with the
vegan,
vegan.
exactly.
Wow, we are not
Yeah,
on that
no, no,
trending
no.
scope there.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Trending.
Julian is doing some great things. Julian Hearn
He's
is
paying
doing some-
attention.
He is.
He's definitely paying attention.
Yeah.
He made a quote. He was just like, "I'm not a big designer, but I know what looks good. I know what works." And you're seeing the direct follow
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Hewlett is doing some really great things with their content and bringing that inclusivity with everyone as they have to. As I mentioned before, their users that they want that as a face of the brand that continues to bring in more users. It doesn't seem that far away from me. It seems very close. And I think that's exactly what Facebook is doing as well with their features. So when you pair the features
Yeah.
with what you're doing with your product, it only gets better.
Yeah.
The
And
features
as
are
the
bringing
platform gets better,
exactly.
the results get better.
So
so
that-
just from building that
That
community.
good marketing is
Exactly.
working on top of that
Yes.
good build of the features. I think it's impeccable. And I
So,
mean,
yeah.
if brands themselves take a note or take the entire playbook, if you so please,
As they should, no.
you would see, because it's
Yeah,
worked
you
and
would
nothing
see,
wrong
yeah.
with that. That's the formula for it. They would see similar results,
Yeah,
whether their market space is. They would
Because
see
you could
similar
just
results.
sell on Facebook. It's a platform like anything else.
Right.
You could sell, but building something that persons care about, something that has a community behind it,
Yeah.
is
Big
what
on
will-
community.
That will win in the long run. And as the platform gets better, you and your community and thus your brand will only get better as well. And your ROI on that will only increase. First, just passively, just based on the platform getting better, which is external to you even having to, even your advertising bill, etc.
Yeah, so when social is done right, the results speak for themselves.
Yeah,
They
do.
And in numbers, not likes.
And it has an
Dollars.
explosive
Nature to it.
propagating ability because of all the sharing and stuff. No one's cutting out a newspaper ad and bringing it for you to see.
Yeah.
Right? That is never happening.
That's not happening.
It's never gonna happen. Right? So
What I would do is take a picture and share it on Facebook. That's what I would do.
The nature of the shareability of it,
yes,
it could
exactly.
only get
gets
faster.
Wi-Fi. And the
No
bigger
matter
your
what.
community, it's the more members likely to share and share amongst themselves and share to the external world,
Yeah.
Deeper
which
it
is
goes.
free media amplification, just with
Yeah.
more on steroids. Yes, that's
Exactly.
everybody in your community has become your brand ambassador.
Literally, that's exactly what they did.
That's
That's
literally
exactly what they did. I don't think Hugh ever paid any model or got any stock photos or anything of that sort. These are all users who buy the product and
Exactly.
rep it because they feel so close to it.
Me wearing
Because they-
Adidas, right, could only impact what the closest persons to me that see me often enough to know that I
Yeah.
always wear Adidas.
Right.
Right? But the hundreds of friends that I have following me, depending on how your list
Your
is
social
tailored,
media,
right, can now see it. Right? Because they never run enough people at enough times for everybody to see what you're up to. So the ability for people to really be a brand ambassador is only now possible because of social.
Yeah.
Because of social.
That's true. I can't stress this enough. But through all this talk, I am just really loving Facebook's ability to continually improve. And just continually get better. And I really want to go here with this, right? And this is where I see Facebook going next, or where they told us they're going next. Right? So
it's what's new, right?
yeah, what's new right now.
New right
and
now.
this is really my favorite part about it. I really love this part and how Facebook really brings this up, because they're looking to improve the AI. So not really improve, but looking to add their AI to hardware and into
Also,
the
they're not
voice
really
space.
using it
Yes, into the
outside
voice
of there.
space, exactly.
Right.
And I feel that this voice AI interaction will cause some disruption in this space. Because although yes, there are giants like Google Voice, which is I will say now an amazing
pretty good.
feat in itself.
Google Assistant is amazing.
Amazing feat in
Google Duplex
itself.
could answer calls for you.
Like a normal
Answer
human.
calls,
They
just like a
sound-
human. Stop, pause,
Chuckle
giggle,
here, yeah.
everything, just like a regular human being. And while this conversation is happening on the line, it's being perfectly transcribed for you, so you can follow along. So the person's talking, they're
You're
hearing
seeing
his
it.
response, and you're seeing what's being
going
said
on.
on both
You
sides.
could jump in when you
so
want
you
to.
could decide when you want to jump in, if at all,
Or jump
not.
out.
And
So
then,
now you're not just seeing the number, you're also seeing the content of the
Conversation.
call.
Yes.
What's going on, what they're calling me about. So that's
Your own
cutting edge
personal
tech.
assistant. Yeah.
Voices. It
it
has reached places. It has
here.
reached places.
It's here.
It has reached places.
It's here. But you see, what gets me excited about Facebook is they're already spectacular AI. Like the feats they have reached with their AI and I'm bringing that to the voice space.
Right.
I really do think that this is something to behold, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna come out with. What's
How they're gonna use
Yes,
it,
how they're gonna use it
and
works.
how it actually works.
yes, how it interacts with you, because if an AI has the has the ability to take down content within an hour of being posted based on it being harmful and so forth,
Or just
Violating any
Yeah,
regulations,
any-
copyrights, anything of the sort.
globally as well, within an hour's time.
repeat that for them. The system and not people.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
system does
There's
it.
no
Persons,
one
not
behind
persons.
And-
The system itself reads and gives meaning to and identifies what you have posted.
There's not a time to put for themselves. This is what was mandated by them. But if they
Yeah.
go out this hour, they get fined.
Yeah.
All right, so they had the
4% of revenue. Yeah,
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah.
So the AI has to be working well, and if it can do that, then I think the feats that it can pull off in voice will be amazing, and I really can't wait to see that evolution.
Because they haven't been fined yet.
Yeah, that is
Since
so
Cambridge
true.
Analytica, they have not been fined
So
yet.
they're
since
doing
the
something.
funding
They're
came
working.
down. That
They're
is
doing
right.
something right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for Facebook to even join the audio space or this entire space at such a high caliber, it says something about the level to which they're at. Because not everyone joined the voice space. I mean, for example, like Siri. I mean, Siri is not.
Oh, Cortana.
Siri was first.
Oh yeah.
Cortana doesn't necessarily talk back to
Windows.
you.
But it is a voice assistant.
But-
Yeah.
So for Facebook to join the race at such a high level, it says something about the level to which their AI is far surpassed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Other players in the
Facebook is trying to take over the world, because simultaneously, as if they're not busy enough with this with their AI and their voice and their video first smart speaker that is Portal, and their VR, which they are one of the leaders of in VR technology. No, that's a bit away because no one is spending
it's
even an hour a day on VR
On VR.
religiously like how we spend on the internet.
Yeah.
But they're early in VR. And for all their different tentacles and all these different spaces, right? They got into finance now with Facebook, Facebook's
currency,
cryptocurrency, the Libra. Now, if you know anything about Facebook, Facebook's user base is all of over 2 billion users. 2 billion users. So, the idea of 2 billion users having access to one common digital currency,
Yeah.
right? In a society that has already made, a global society that already made the transition to a cashless world, is a level of influence and transaction convenience that is a little concerning to bodies, as it should be.
Yeah, definitely.
And the closest thing this world has ever seen to a one world currency. I saw mad videos on one world currencies. This is the closest we've ever come. Yeah. Project Calibra is definitely.
Yeah, for everyone to agree on one, that's
Yeah.
massive conversation. But when someone comes in and provides such, then it takes all the friction out.
It takes the friction out of the system, and then when they tell you it's going to be here in less than a year from now, you're talking June 2020 for the launch.
That's massive.
That's
That's
massive.
That's massive.
That is massive. In a digital and mobile first world, that is huge. That's
They're going to lock in on that ecosystem, but they're going to take care of you as well.
And they
Facebook
have
is
big
only making
backers.
things better for you. So
They are. And
it's
they're
not sinister.
they are the gold standard of cybersecurity.
Exactly.
Right? Consistently. They also have big backers like MasterCard and Visa. Uber is
Within
also
there,
involved, I guess, because of their tech more so than their service.
That's pretty good too.
But yeah, this currency I think is going to really take the world by storm. It makes things a lot easier too, because now you can split the bill with a friend, or you can pay for the fares with a friend. Now you may have your portal speaker, and you may be telling your speaker reminding your speaker to pay
For something.
for maybe your child's, I don't know if tuition will be something that could be paid for. In this way, because it is hefty, so that's probably something like 10-20 years down the road. Actually, no, because the faster we get, the faster we get.
maybe
Maybe
5G.
maybe 5. But you can definitely pay for maybe your child's lessons or something, or peer-to-peer transaction with the school,
Right.
where they have a digital account, a digital wallet, and you can be like, don't forget to pay for Susie's lessons
But I think it'd be
on
very
Friday,
possible, because
and then on Friday they
because
do
of-
such. Because we already have
Yeah.
PayPal and those things, so we have wallets of many kinds.
but in Facebook Messenger on the business page, there's a little dollar sign you can press to pay for stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been there since last month. You press it, and when I got the alert, I was like, "What's this here?" I pressed it. You can pay for what you want to pay right there. So I think when you said what this was showing me 20 years away, I don't think it might be so far.
I mean, besides the obvious applications like just general e-commerce on the platform and shopification of the platform, right? The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Concert tickets, movies, watch parties,
Contributions.
causes,
anything.
events, donations,
Anything.
Kickstarters,
GoFundMes, all
GoFundMes.
these things. Connected to stuff all over the world in one. That's crazy.
Wow.
You can't refute Facebook. You can't refute that at all.
Because this gets very weird when maybe you connect your Facebook to your vehicle, because you already have your phone can connect to most cars,
Yeah.
right? And no, because with the implementation of 5Gs and the self-driving cars up to date, and with the advancements that we expect in blockchain technology, we are implementing micropayments. When now you're talking about paying, for every second of combustion, right? As you use your vehicle, so not everybody they're looking to see how they can get everybody to pay as they use,
And then you pay for it.
and you pay for your footprint. So if you are out there and your footprint is large, your bill too will
I
reflect
think that's
that.
fair.
Feel it.
And
I
now
think
each
that's fair.
individual can get that autonomy over how they spend, how they spend their money
Catch me
on the
riding
things
a
that you
bike.
used to have to pay for in mass.
You can catch me riding a bike.
No, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
No, but that's
and data
pretty
comes
good.
with it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Another accountability
really-
within there as well. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Fair game.
So I'm really excited to see
Oh,
what's over
definitely.
the horizon.
Definitely.
Over the horizon. Right.
It's here. It's here. You're right. It's here.
on the
The
right.
future
It's
is
here.
today.
Yeah.
It is today.
It is.
It is today. And I do hope that everybody is excited about the future, because it's coming. You could not be excited about it, but it's still going to be here
It's
one
coming
way or
regardless,
another.
yeah.
And that could either be the uncle that you love a lot or the uncle that you can't stand to see. But boy, is he moving in.
He is coming in regardless.
Anytime soon.
Kicking and screaming.
So I hope you are as willing to accept Facebook's offer as you are going to be to accept our next episode. Sign out. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Nice.